Hello everyone, so welcome to today's video. We are doing something a little different. I've done videos similar to this in the past when I have been sent some products or beauty products from Influenster. I am one of the lucky ones that gets to try products, and they send me stuff pretty frequently, and a lot of the stuff is good stuff, and I've been able to try new things through that program, so it's really great. And I'm going to be sharing with you today the stuff that they sent this month was the Honest Beauty, which is a brand that's owned and created by Jessica Alba, and it's supposed to be clean beauty that works. So I wanted to kind of try the products that were sent. They sent 3 things for us to try, and I think everybody that got the box that's part of the Influencer program got the same items. And I also got the InStyle magazine. I remember I used to be an InStyle magazine subscriber back in the day. So it has obviously the beautiful Jessica Alba on the front cover, which is really great, and loving the sequin dress. Let me just show you guys. The sequin dress looks so pretty, and I like her makeup and stuff. It's like a smoky eye with a red lip, so that's really cool. I am new to the Honest Beauty brand. I've tried things from the Honest company itself, like stuff for my son who is a toddler, or he's a big boy, but I still call him my baby. I do the Honest Kids juices. I think that's part of the brand, and like all the Honest stuff for the baby stuff, and we thoroughly enjoy it. It's a little bit more pricey than using, you know, like other brands, but I think it's worth it because I think that they are, like I said before, it's clean beauty and they use good ingredients in their products. So let's get on to the 3 products that I'm going to be testing out. It's the Honest Beauty Everything Primer. I haven't even opened these. I haven't even swatched them or anything, so I don't even know what the texture is like on this, but it's made without parabens, phthalates, silicones, dyes, oils, and synthetic fragrance. It's not tested on animals. It's the Matte Prep and Prime. The next thing that I'm going to try as well is the Extreme Length Mascara and Primer. This is in the shade Black Mirror. So again, I'm really excited about this because I have not tried any of the beauty products. And it says to brush the primer on upper lashes evenly from root to tip, wait 30 seconds, and then apply the mascara. So this is a double-ended product, which is cool. And then you can see the way the packaging looks of the actual product itself. Then the third thing is the lip crayon, the Demi Matte Cushion Conditioner and High Pigment Color. And I was sent the color Marsala, which looks like a very pretty everyday color, right up my alley. And really excited to try this. It says it's got jojoba seed oil, muri muri, and shea butters to condition and cushion the lips, help it lock in moisture for a perfect pout. So excited. So I'm going to go ahead and open up these packages and we're going to get started. We're going to start with the Everything Primer, and I'm just going to apply this with my fingers. I do have my damp beauty sponge, and as you can see, this still has a little silver protector on here, in a very soft, light tinted yellow color, and it's pretty thick. Like, the consistency is pretty thick. It doesn't have too much of a smell. And usually when you look at primers that are controlling or mattifying, they're going to be a little bit more, sometimes more silicone-y feeling. Some of them will have a little bit of a creamy texture, but this does feel quite creamy to the touch and not the texture that I would expect for something to mattify. If I think of like the mattifying primer from Becca, that has a bit of a silicone-y, like a bit of a slip to it. And when you put it on, it does sort of look like it fills in the pores and fine lines, and that does feel a lot drier. This feels more like it would probably be moisturizing in a way. So I'm going to start with a little bit on my middle finger, and I'm going to apply this onto my nose, which is where most of my oil is, and right here where I have larger pores. And if I do get any oil, it's here, but usually forehead and the sides of my face, chin is usually pretty dry. And my skin does get quite red when I start blending and massaging products in, so that's why it's looking a little red. But when you, it does have a clean scent, it doesn't have anything weird, but when you blend this in, it does feel quite nice. And I'm just gonna, since I have quite a bit taken out, I might as well just go right through the forehead, kind of connect that down, T-zone area, maybe not really much on my lip, a tiny bit on my chin. Like I said, I don't get really dry, oily there, and so I just want to put this into the areas that I feel like I do get oily, and I might as well just use whatever's left and apply this to the rest of my face instead of wasting it. But it does feel quite nice. It doesn't feel sticky. Kind of sort of toned down that bit of dewiness. I did use some moisturizer mixed with a little bit of oil, so that's probably why I was looking a little dewy. But honestly, I'm going to take my mirror and look up close. And I'm not going to say that it filled in the pores. It just kind of took down that shine, but it still looks like skin. So it's not completely like matte, and it doesn't feel tight or anything. So far so good. Now I always apply my foundation products with a damp beauty sponge. This is the one from Real Techniques. And my combination that I have been doing is the It Cosmetics CC Cream with a little bit of the Clinique Even Better. I do like the CC Cream. It has good coverage, and I also like the fact that it has SPF 50, which is, that's very important to me. As you can see, I am almost out. So I do use this product every single day. So I'm going to do that. Alright, so far I feel like it's sitting quite nicely underneath my CC cream slash foundation mixing, and I don't feel like it's making me look any extra dewy. I don't feel like it's drying out my skin. Now, usually with that, I will have a little bit more of a kind of sheen to the skin because, like I said, this CC cream by It Cosmetics is not a mattifying formula, so it does hydrate. It's got a hydrating properties into it. It's a hydrating serum that's built into this, so it works really great on most of my face, except for like sometimes on my nose I may get a little bit of extra oil, but it's not a whole lot. And I do think that the formula works well with my skin type, and this is the reason why I chose to use this with just a tiny bit of this Clinique foundation for today's video, because this is what I do off camera. So the same routine that I do on my personal time when I'm going out to do things is the same thing I'm going to do on camera with you guys, just keeping it real. The next thing that I have to try is the mascara. It's a double end product, so you unscrew the bottom, which is the peach side, and it's labeled primer and mascara. This is a white primer, which is your typical color for most mascara primers anyways. They're all going to be white. And then the mascara, let's show you the wand. And this is a plasticky kind of rubbery applicator, and the bristles are super short at the very tip and then just get just a bit longer towards the bottom part of the wand. So now it's time to go ahead and apply the mascara. So I'm going to start by applying the primer portion, which is the side with the peach, probably one eye at a time. And I'm not really seeing a whole lot of primer coming off of the actual wand. I don't really see anything that could either be a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes it takes a while to cover the primer. If it's really noticeable that it's white, you have to kind of work more with it to cover it. How much this is actually going to work. Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of, there's a little bit of white on this one, but I don't really see a whole lot of any white coming off, so I'm not quite sure if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. So now for the mascara, I would say that it's probably been about 30 seconds on this left eye, so going in with that and seeing how much length and volume I'm going to get with this. So I'm getting some formula off of the brush, which is good, and it seems to be applying quite nicely and evenly. I'm not getting any like clumping, and it's not clumping the lashes together. So here's one eye with the mascara and primer, and then this is just the primer side. So there is quite a bit of difference, and I really enjoy this application process. I think it's quite nice to have a double end, especially if you're into primers. I'm not really one to wear primers. I'm not against them. I just usually just skip that step entirely. And I actually don't mind having the shorter bristles. It's a little different than my go-to mascara. that I use on a regular basis, which is more of your traditional looking mascara wands, whereas this is your plastic ones with shorter bristles. And I do think it goes on quite nicely. I don't notice any clumping after applying the mascara over the primer, which is really great, because I have used primers before in the past where you put it on and then you go in with the mascara and it immediately clumps it, makes it look like you have 4 lashes when you really don't. And that's probably why mascara primers don't have the best track record, and it's not something that everybody's using because it's hit or miss with the primer. So far, I do think that it made my lashes look, I think, like it normally would if I just did the mascara or any mascara, which is a good thing. And a lot of primer actually came off of the wand, but I think that might actually be a good thing because it didn't overgoop the lashes with primer. It was pretty much easy for me to apply the mascara and cover any light white tint that I may have had, and I don't feel like my lashes are clumping together. There is some distinctive, separation between them. I would have preferred a little bit more length and more volume, but I'm also used to using a mascara that I really try not to deviate from because it works really well. So we're going to go ahead and add just a tiny bit more, and this is where I tend to get clumping happening with other mascaras, and I just did a very thin second layer, and it seems to not really affect it in a negative way, which is good. Now I would say that maybe 2 coats is the max that I would recommend in general, and the same applies to this mascara. This is not any different than other formulas. I would say just kind of stick with 2 coats, and so whatever's left on there, I'm going to go ahead and apply it to my bottom lashes. And it applies quite nicely on the bottom lashes, which is good. No clumping, no smudging, not getting onto my skin. And I'm using the really short bristles on the very tip of the wand to get right in this inner part. But I think the last thing that we need to do is the lip product. And this is the lip crayon in the shade Marsala. And I will do a swatch. Ooh, this is very pigmented and very, very creamy. And I love the color. It's that perfect everyday color that goes with everything. It's that type of color that you can use for work, for school, going out to dinner, everyday running errands. As you can see, it's so easy just to kind of scribble it on. That's why I love these types of products like this in this sort of crayon style, because it's easy. And it feels very comfortable on the lips. I think that this is going to be one of my go-to now for every day, because it feels very comfortable and it's not matte. It's not super shiny, but there's a bit of a sheen to it, and it just applied like a dream. It just kind of went on, and I really hope that the other colors in the range are the same way, the same formula, because sometimes it could be hit or miss with some brands. Some are really great, and then you try darker shades or lighter shades and they don't quite work as well. But this, I'm digging. I love the shade. I think it works really well, especially since there's not a lot of stuff happening on the eyes. I feel like having a lip that's a little bit darker, a little bit more bold, tends to add just more life to the skin and to your face. So I do like this a lot. And this shade, like I said, is called Marsala. It's a really pretty, like, natural rose color. So if you've tried anything from Honest Beauty, please share with me your favorites, what you recommend, the good and the bad. I'd like to hear from you guys. I always love interacting with my subscribers. So if you've tried it and you're watching, let me know down below what I should try next, if I'm going to go shop at the Honest Beauty section of Ulta or wherever they sell this. I think Target is another place. What should I buy? What should I try? And what is not so great? So I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'm going to wear this, go do some errands, and then maybe do some check-ins possibly on my phone, and then just kind of implement those clips in here, or maybe come back and set all this stuff up again and do kind of like my final check-in. I'm not going to be touching up or anything. I have not put any setting powder or setting sprays on my face because it's normally not what I do, so I'm going to kind of stick to exactly how I wear my makeup. If I wasn't doing a video, this is what I would have done for today anyways. So I will see you guys very soon. Alright, so I'm doing my check-in and kind of sharing with you guys so far what my skin looks like. It's been on for several hours, coming up on almost 5 hours of wearing the primer, which is supposed to be the everything, the mattifying one. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like underneath my CC cream. I do have a bit of a sheen here, but I'm also wearing highlighter, so it's kind of hard to tell at this point if it's oil or if it's my highlighter, which is a good thing, you know. And the lip itself, even though I have not retouched the lip, the color is still there. Just it's not as creamy, and it feels more of a matte lip now that the kind of balmy texture is gone. And I have been drinking some white peach tea from Chick-fil-A, and so of course some of that does transfer off because it's not meant to be a long wear product. So I'm actually impressed with the formula of the lip. I wasn't expecting it to stay like this. I feel like I wouldn't necessarily have to touch up if I was in a rush to go somewhere or to go in quickly somewhere. I'm okay with this, you know. And I think it looks really pretty. It still looks quite nice. My skin looks a little dewy, but that is exactly how it looks when I wear my IT Cosmetics CC cream. Like I said before, when I was filming back in my beauty room, that formula is a hydrating formula, so it's not mattifying at all. So I think I would have more of a matte look with this primer had I used a matte foundation, but those tend to be quite drying, especially on my dry skin. So I try not to use them too much, at least not anymore. I feel like I'm pretty happy with the result of the primer with the CC cream, the lip, the mascara. There's no flaking, there's no smudging. I do have marks from my sunglasses, but that's totally different. And I've also gotten rained on. I don't know if you can tell that the window has some watermarks on it. It is pouring thunder, lightning. It is really bad out, and I need to hurry up and get home because it's gonna get really bad. So I've gotten my face wet as well. So I'm really impressed with it, and I would actually have to say that I would use this again, and I would recommend it to you guys, especially if you want a primer to kind of go in between your skin and your foundation product, so that it's not like applying foundation straight to skin without putting some type of barrier. I don't know, I like doing that sometimes, but like I said before, I'm not a primer person where I wear primer every single day, but I can see myself using this. But as of right now, I'm really happy with it, and I can see myself using it again. Definitely would recommend all three products, really. So I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this, and of course I'm filming in 4K. This is my iPhone, and it does me no favors when my skin looks terrible. So I hope it's not too bad, and I hope you guys enjoyed this 5-hour check-in with absolutely no touch-ups. Can you believe it? Thank you so much for tuning in for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you are interested in anything that I use in today's video, makeup-wise, or the products that I reviewed, they will all be listed down below in the order that they were used. And if you want to leave your feedback on the video, please let me know what you thought. Don't forget to follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. It's always here on the screen. Thank you for being you and for being here and spending some of your day with me. Have a fabulous time, and I will see you very soon.